All right. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Good morning. Let's get some music going here. Make sure my volume's down. Okay. So, hopefully everyone had a good weekend. Let's get after it. Monday morning. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. So, SPY, higher lows, lower highs, clean wedge here, right? We have a perfect resistance that acted as a support last week, creating a higher low, right? Opening up 0.2% as of now. Looks solid, right? SPY definitely looks solid, setting up for a nice move this week. We have a nice resistance, previous triple top here, 454.17. Going to look for a break there. Okay. Let me fix my mic. There we go. Right, so 454.17. A break of that, and I think we see a nice move and potential move up to the highs here. Or a break of 452.17, which is that low from Friday. I think we see a breakdown, a move to 451.44, and then below that, you know, we could drop to probably this previous support around 450 or so, 450 psychological level. So again, both great setups in great directions. Fixed cloud issue. I'm waiting to hear back from him actually. Message him. Message him again. All right, so just message him again. So there is SPY. Qs, right? Qs, multiple rejections off of this white trend line here. Kind of opening towards the lower range of the support, right? Previous support, kind of bounced through there. We do have this previous support from July 13th. So right, multiple bounces off of this 375.7 level. If that can hold, I think, if that can hold and we start to see some momentum and a break of this white trend line, I would look for a potential entry around 378.3, right? Which is this previous high. If that breaks, then we also have this resistance to break, right? Previous support acted as resistance. So once this range can clear, I think we'd be good to go to fill this gap here, right? We do have a gap to be filled here at 384, right? So we need this to break in order to reach this. But again, we are at the bottom range of this little chop zone here. So if this support breaks, right, we got 374 and 372. Okay. So that's SPY and QQQ. Square. Let's take a look. Right, previous resistance acted as support, acted as support, acted as support. Right, so now we have multiple bounces at this 75 level. We're down 0.5% here, but if this gains some strength here at open, I do like calls over the 76.7 resistance. Right, this resistance acted as resistance, acted as resistance. If it can break, we kind of break this falling wedge or this wedge type structure. Right, then we have this level above 77.5. After that, we really don't have much resistance above until the highs here at 80. So it can definitely see a nice run there. Okay, so definitely keep that on your eye. I have my alert set at both levels. BABA, right? I kind of like BABA, creating this higher low, lower high structure. Right, we have this previous flag break. We broke out. We've just been consolidating since, right? We have this previous resistance, and it's acting as a support now, right? Higher lows creating this base. If this base can hold, right, we could start to curl up here. I think we could see a breakout. And if we can break through 93, I think we see a big move all the way back up to the highs here. So I'll be watching that. If everyone could drop a quick like on the video, that would be fantastic. That's BABA. Microsoft, right? Microsoft's up 0.6% here, one of the stronger names in pre-market. We have this previous base or this previous resistance, right? Rejected once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, acted as support a few times here. Quick liquidity grab here, right? Pulls back, a little fake out. Right, we held it perfectly. So if we can break out, I think through this resistance, or acted as resistance again, kind of lines up with this white trend line around 347. All right, I have my alert set. If that can break, I think we see a break of this wedge and a push up to 351 plus. So I think Microsoft looks pretty solid here. Definitely one of my favorite setups this morning. The risk to reward is definitely solid. And I like how anytime there's a liquidity grab like this, and a hold over it, you know, it tends to work out pretty solid. Apple, going to keep an eye on, right? We have this previous resistance, acted as a support a few times, right? We broke below it last week, but if we can reclaim that and break out of this wedge, I think we see a push up to 194. So I'll keep an eye on that as well. Right, quick little wedge here to the downside. Potentially could see a nice move out of that wedge. Rivian definitely needs to break out of this wedge, right? We've been looking at Rivian a pretty decent amount this last week or two, but it's just been straight sideways since the beginning of July. If once this can finally break out, it should see a nice move, but it just needs some more time right now, right? It's not really doing anything here in pre-market, but that's that. Yeah, Microsoft has an ER tomorrow as well, so just make sure you're aware of that. That'll be more of a tomorrow issue. For today, you know, we could still see a potential nice run up. But again, ER tomorrow. So if you plan on swinging anything, just be careful. Coin, we got really no setup there. The video I was looking at this, right? We do have this previous support, acted as support, kind of had a liquidity grab here. If this can hold, potentially a breakout of this wedge, but it's not the cleanest of all setups. So I have it charted out, but I didn't add it to my watch list for that reason. It's a little iffy. Meta's got really nothing also. We have this previous double top here, right? Resistance, resistance, resistance. So even a triple top. But again, there's really no setup here. Google also, right, we kind of created this little flag here, but it's opening up 0.9%. There's not really much of a setup there as well. Same with Amazon, right? Amazon has this previous shelf here, right? Resistance, 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 acted as support. But again, right, big sell-off last week. No setup there. Same with Tesla, Netflix, right? Big sell-off. We have this previous support here at 255.8, but again, there's really just not much consolidation or not much anything. Netflix, nothing really. And AMD, nothing really as well. Can I take a look at mRNA? Sure. mRNA, just total chop, right? Not really much movement here. What I do see is we do have these higher and higher lows, so that looks solid, and we kind of have this flat top here, right? Resistance, 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 right? It's even creating these kind of lower highs, if you will. I can even draw it like that, however you want to draw it. So if it breaks through that 128 level, sure, it looks fine, but then you have this resistance right above, 128.9, 0.98. You know, on the higher time frames, just very iffy. Right? There's just not much going on here. It's been in a huge downtrend for a long time, right? Since December of 2022. So for months now, it's just been going down. All right, but it is potentially starting to form this big base here. Right, something like this. Right, starting to form this base, looking for it to curl and to pop up, you know, potentially soon. I think SPY looks the best today. Might need some more time, but again, just a very clean move here. All right, let's see if we take it from this fib where we're at. So we're sitting right at the 0.5. kind of reverse off the 618 as well. So right off the golden zone, right? zero point 0.5 to 618 is typically where structures or pullbacks bounce, and that's exactly what happened here. Remove all this. Okay. So that is that. Can I look at MMM? So, right, multiple rejections across this level here, right? Resistance, 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 resistance. Every time it approaches, kind of rejects. We do have these higher and higher lows, so it's building that potential momentum to break through, right? We are up pre-market here, and it is kind of above that resistance in pre-market, so it definitely could push up. You know, today could be the day where it actually breaks out of that, but not something I would trade. What questions does everyone have? Shoot your shot. Sounds good. SMCI. So just right off the bat, you can tell, right, we have these higher lows and lower highs. Right, that's the first thing I notice. Right, so it's always a good thing, right? We have this previous resistance. I guess I charted this last week. Right, resistance, 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 and it needs to break over that in order to see a move to 315.1. Right, once that can break, this should see a move to 329 plus. Right, always think if this, then that. Right, if this breaks, then we test that. Don't have a bias. Okay. Let's take a look at VIX. So VIX formed this base, right? Previous support, support, support. Kind of tested this resistance. Now it's just kind of hovering here. So nothing really to look at here yet. Need some more time. You got it, Tracy. And that's that. That's the watch list. So what questions does everyone have? Right, watch list should not take long to make, right? It takes about 15-20 minutes. And that's really it. Let me bring up the economic calendar as well quickly for you guys while I got everyone here. So I'll bring this up in a second. Let me just go over EMPH for you. So EMPH you want me to check out. Let's redo it. All right, so first thing I noticed, nice little base here. All right, holding pretty well. We have these lower highs. All right, so we also have this gap. It's over 180.5. This does have a gap to fill. So it looks pretty solid as long as this lower level can hold. All right, previous support, support, support. So that needs to hold 175. The link in the bio, Keith. So it looks pretty decent. It does have earnings this week, so just be careful. Implied volatility could be higher, premiums could be higher, and so on. But looks fine as long as this 175 can hold. We do have a gap to fill to the upside. Economic calendar. Let me pull this up quickly. Here is the economic calendar. All right, so Monday, today, in 30 minutes, we have this data. PMI, most important, right? 3 starts. Tuesday, most important, CB consumer confidence. Wednesday, there you go, an FOMC on Wednesday. So big day on Wednesday. probably best to not trade in the morning. Actually, the morning's fine. The morning's fine to trade. But before FOMC at 2 o'clock, it's best to not trade. I just use Bloomberg. Bloomberg.com/market/economic calendar. It's a big week due to the Fed. Okay. Sometimes, Victor. Sometimes. Not every time. You know, we got earnings season plus Fed, so, you know, it can lean both ways, but it's typically way more volatile, that's for sure. Okay. I'll post that in the Discord as well. Let me screenshot it quickly. I'll post the most important ones. Right, so I usually just screenshot it like this, and then I'll just save it in the Discord like that. Right, and I'll just copy this, post it in the Discord. And that's that. Did I look at cat? I did not look at cat. So let's take a look at the smaller time frame here. Right, this previous resistance, whoops, wrong tool. This previous resistance needs to hold, right? Previous resistance kind of acted as support. It's kind of acting as a support now. Kind of have these lower and lower highs. Right, so this level needs to hold, need to see a breakout through, but we do have this previous level here as well, right? Previous support is going to act as a new resistance. So as long as this can hold, this needs to break above. Okay. So with that being said, 10 minutes to market open. I'm going to go ahead and prepare for the Zoom session and get some more coffee. Need some jet fuel. So again, appreciate everyone stopping by. If you can drop a like before you head out, if you haven't already, that would be amazing and well appreciated. I will see you